Welcome to this video on solving by factorising quadratic equations. So here we've got our quadratic equation, and we're going to stick this into a set of double brackets. Okay. So to do this, I'm going to follow a very simple process. I'm looking for two numbers that have a product of the number that sits on the end, the 8. They also need to have a sum, so they need to add together to make 6, which is the number that sits in the middle. So I'm going to sit and just off to the side, I'm just going to list all the ways I can have a product of 8. So I could have 1 and 8, I could have 2 and 4, or I could have -1 and -8, or -2 and -4. All of those will work. I now need to look at this combination and see which ones sum or add to make 6. 1 plus 8 doesn't work. 2 plus 4, yes, that one does. I can ignore the others now, okay, because there's only one way it'll work. What it's telling me is into my brackets, I'm going to put x plus 2, x plus 4, because they're the two factors that I've chosen. So I've factorised it, now I'm going to solve it. In order to solve it, I need each of these brackets to become 0. So I need x plus 2 to equal 0, and I need x plus 4 to equal 0. In order for this one to become 0, then x would be -2, because -2 plus 2 equals 0. For this one to be 0, I would have x is equal to -4, because again, -4 plus 4 makes 0. Okay, here's the next one then. So this time they've got to have a product of 7, and they need to add to make -8. So again, just off to the side, I'm going to find all the ways that I can make the number 7. I could have 1 and 7, I could have -1 and -7. They're the only two options. I'm now going to look at these and see which ones add to make -8, not positive, -8. 1 plus 7 doesn't work, so this must be my option. So into my brackets, x minus 1, x minus 7. Now I'm going to go ahead and solve it. So remember, each bracket needs to be equal to 0. So x minus 1 needs to be 0, and x minus 7 needs to be 0. This one is going to have to be x is equal to 1, because 1 take 1 is 0. For this one, x is going to have to be 7, because 7 take 7 is 0. Those are my two solutions. Our last example then has a positive then a negative. They need to have a product of -27, and they have to sum to make +6. Now this one's a little trickier because we're going to have one positive and one negative number. I know this because this number on the end here is -27. So I need to list all the ways I can make -27. It could be a very long list. So we can have -1 and 27, -27 and 1. I could have -3 and 9, or I could have -9 and 3. I'm now going to go through that list and see which ones add to make +6. -1 and 27 doesn't work. -27 plus 1 doesn't work. -3 plus 9 does, so I can discount the last one. So that's telling me that in my brackets I've got x minus 3, x plus 9. I'm going to make each bracket equal to 0. So x minus 3 equals 0. And x plus 9 equals 0. What that's telling me is that this one is going to have to be 3, because 3 take 3 is 0. And for this one, x is going to have to be -9, because -9 plus 9 makes 0. So these are my two solutions. Hopefully you found that useful. Good luck.